Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
What up, players? Welcome to another episode of Player Life. It is Saturday, the 21st of January. Yeah, so I don't usually live stream at this time. It's a Saturday morning here it is a Saturday morning. Yeah, I very rarely live stream at this time, but why not? Today I had some free time, so here we are. In today's episode, I want to talk about what women like to watch on Pornhub. A friend of mine sent me this link, and I thought I would review it and talk about it. It might be interesting. Personally, I think right off the bat, I think women are much less visual than men, as in women get less stimulation from visuals as men do. I think that much is just obvious. I think you would know that without even looking at the stats, looking at this science of it. It's just women don't particularly enjoy watching porn as much as men do. Men get addicted to porn. Like it's a really bad thing to get addicted to as a guy. I mean, we've all watched porn. I don't believe anyone who says they've never watched porn. It is something. It's definitely something that you is not going to help you. Like it's not going to help you out. Watching porn is just it is just a total waste of time, total waste of energy. Not something that is worthwhile doing. And yet most guys do it. Like it's such a time sink. It just wastes your time, wastes your energy. It'll actually stop you from being motivated to meet real women because you're releasing your sexual energy. Um, I can't remember the last time I can't even remember the last time I bust a nut to watching porn. Like actually watching porn, and it's not how I go about doing it. I've said before, I said it again. If there's any time, like I'm not gonna say I never masturbate or jerk off. I do it occasionally, very rarely. And the only instance I would ever do it is when I'm tired, I'm in bed, I can't sleep, and I wouldn't even watch porn while doing it. It's just uh, a good way to release some energy and put yourself to sleep. That's it. Like the idea of watching porn in the middle of the daytime or while you're awake and you've stuff to do is so lame to me. I just would never do that anymore. Um, Definitely would not. Anyway, let me share the article. Okay, so what women like to watch. Um, okay, so in this edition of Pornhub Insights, we'll be taking a closer look at gender demographics of the world's most popular porn site. Pornhub's statisticians reviewed the anonymized data from billions of visits to determine not only the proportions, but also the porn viewing preferences of men and women. Everything, nothing can be hidden anymore. The data is all there online. Just like we know the data about dating apps and how men are at such a disadvantage on dating apps due to male and female nature, due to the male thirst to get women and the female, uh, the way in which females are way more selective in choosing a man for procreation. So 2020 saw the proportion of female visitors grow to 35%, an increase of plus 3 percentage points compared to 2019, and a proportional growth of plus 9%. If we look back further, the female proportion was 29% in 2018 and 26% in 2017. So it appears females are becoming more and more degenerate. Um, there's not much of a surprise there. Uh, anyway, according to sex educator Nikki Davis Fainbloom, we are moving towards embracing female sexuality and women are feeling more deserving of pleasure. Moving towards, like, I mean, that ship has sailed. What are you talking about? Uh, that is just crazy. I mean, women are have already embraced female sexuality. I mean, that's certainly in Western countries. I mean, and all around the world, in my opinion, barring some traditional cultures, strict religious cultures. But yeah, women have definitely embraced female sexuality. As a result, women are more open to exploring their sexuality, and there's less stigma around watching porn. I mean, porn is just bad for men, so in a way, there should be a stigma. Like it's just bad for your drive in life. It's just not good to watch it. Like I remember when I was a younger teenager, I would regularly watch it. And now I realize, you know, that's a long time ago now. But uh, yeah, what a waste of time. What a waste of energy it was to do that. Um, uh, more women are feeling empowered, knowing that they deserve WAP, I wet ass pussy, I guess, and exploring how the right video can help facilitate that for us. If you need like a video to get like turned on, you're fucked. Like you're doing something wrong. Like, and that's why porn is also bad for males because they the more porn you watch, the more desensitized you become to just different kinds of fetishes, different kinds different kinds of sexual acts. It essentially makes you more perverted. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if but it's bad when it's like artificial. Obviously, you know, if you become super perverted and start doing super degenerate stuff, that's not like that's not good. I mean, if as long as no one's getting hurt, I don't have a problem with it. As long as it's legal and no one's getting hurt, fire away. But yeah, the reality is the more porn you watch, the more artificially degenerate you become. So it kind of increases the rate in which you become more perverted. Like there's no doubt about it. There is absolutely no doubt about it. The more sex you have, the more the more sexual content, the more sex you have, the more the kinkier you're going to become. There's no doubt about it. There that cannot I don't anyone who disagrees with me, I don't yeah, I don't I think it's just a fact. Because if you think back to when you're like, you know, the early days when you're when you're young, when you're hitting puberty, I mean, seeing a woman just seeing any woman is enough to get you aroused, like in any kind of vanilla situation. I mean, I remember being in school. I mean, I went to an all male school, and the only females I encountered were the female teachers. And I mean, I would get sprung over over random female teachers that weren't necessarily even that hot, you know, just like fully clothed, like nothing even too sexual or sexual at all. So I mean, you know, but as a 34-year-old guy now, I'm not going to get sprung over just like looking at a random woman. So it takes more. I mean, especially when you're exposed to more perverted sexual kinky content, it just you need more and more. It's kind of like a drug. So in a way, you need to control it. Um, as a result, it seems like there's more porn being produced that targets female audience. Okay, so demographics, Pornhub. Let me see. Playlist says, "How long will you day game? Will you do another type of game in the future?" I mean, who knows? But day game, as long as I'm single, as long as I'm in the game, I'll do day game. As long as I'm, you know, as long as I have a sex drive and I'm single and I'm right now, I can't envision myself being in a monogamous relationship. So, um, yeah, I mean, why would I not do day game? It's where you get the best bang for your. It's where I've always gotten the best bang for my buck. It's just day game and night game. Day game trumps night game, and night game trumps dating apps. You know, some guys have dating apps work for them. If you're in that top percentile, but for everyone, day game is going to be the best. You're going to get the best bang for your buck. Um, there's just no doubt about it. I've been doing day game for years. The kinds of girls, it's just a cold hard truth that the kind of girls that I can get from day game, I wouldn't be able to get from a dating app. I'll admit that. I will admit that. They're just not going, and it tells me they're just not going to match with me. They're just not going. They're just not going to swipe right. They're just too picky online. They have their standards are too high, and why? Because they can be. Um, they can be. That's the way it is. Like they have infinite. Like if a girl is average, even she's gonna have like a an almost 100%. Um, she's gonna have 100% match rate. If a girl is hot, forget about it. She can have any guy she wants. It's absurd. Like how do you expect to compete in a market like that? How like how can when like every guy is swiping right on her? Plus, there's way more guys on dating apps than there are women. Um, uh, Base pill clips. Dating apps are definitely rigged. A land whale get more matches than handsome Chad. That's a fact. That is a fact. And women hate to. They really dislike admitting that. They really did, but it's just a fact. It's just a fact. Cannot be argued. It just is. And men are to blame for that as well. Like it's not like a lot of the blame gets put on women, but it's because of male thirst that this is happening. It's because men swipe right on almost every woman. It's just in male nature to spread the seed. It's like a very primal biological thing, you know. Guys will have all these standards behind, like in front of their friends, but behind closed doors, they have no standards. Like when guys are alone in their bed, even a good looking guy, when he's alone in his fucking house, watching Netflix, swiping on his dating app, he has no standards. Trust me, they have no standard. They pretend in front of their friends that her tits are small. She's too fat. Like, good luck. Like, behind closed doors, they'll bang like disabled chicks. Like, I'm telling you, it's like this is just how men are. Men are kind of like, yeah. Trust me, I know. I've seen it. I understand how men operate. I'm a man. Like, I get it. Like, they have no standards. Um, Playlist says you look like you would kill it on dating apps, Tinder, etc. I can't even. They, I don't kill it on dating apps. It's like I kill it in real life. I kill it in day game. I kill it in night game. I kill it when I meet the girl. I get ripped off. I feel like I get ripped off on dating apps. I don't like like I said. Like one of the one. I mean, it's not that I've used dating apps. I've been through the whole experience. It's not like they never worked, but like I can get tens from day game and night game. Like like girls that I would consider tens, my ideal uh, girl. And on a dating app, I've never gotten my ideal type, but from day game, I've gotten like my ideal many times, not just once or twice, not just. I'm not saying I get them every day, but it's like it's way more achievable to like actually get your exact type, like head to toe, just fucking like, damn, she ticks every box, like just fuck, like that's happened many times from dating. Never happened from a dating app. And that's just the way it is. It's just annoying. I don't like the feeling of swipe. I don't like the feeling of using an app knowing you're getting ripped off. Like knowing you're getting ripped off, knowing you're getting a raw deal. It's annoying. Like I always tell guys on with day game, like rejection is a fact. Like that's a part of it. Like that you have to get used to rejection. If you can't handle rejection, you're never gonna be good at day game, cold approach, or any kind of game really. But the reality is, like when you get rejected in real life, there's more authenticity to it. Like there's no authenticity. That's another reason why I hate dating apps. There's no authenticity to getting rejected on a dating app. It's not a real. It doesn't feel like a real rejection. Like when you get, I appreciate the fact that in real life, okay, she rejected me. That's like she saw me, she heard me, she heard my voice. She's not about it. She's not willing to engage with me. That I way prefer that. But on a dating app, it's just like a picture, like pixels. It's not enough. It's not enough to be able to convey to a girl your value, like what your charisma, your like even like when you cold approach a girl, if you're wearing nice cologne, she could even smell you. Like it's such a game changer. Like you, yeah. So I mean, I'll never change my opinion on it. Um, like I've experimented and I still occasionally experiment with it, like to see. I'm I'm in this kind of game. I'm in this business, so I check it out. But my brand is Mac the Day Gamer for a reason. It's because I'm a proponent of day game. It works. It works so much better than online dating apps. It just does. Anyway, proportion of female visitors. South Korea. Okay, so yeah, obviously there's more men, more men using them. South Korea 46%, women 54% men. Philippines 42% to 58% men. Taiwan 41, 59. Netherlands 39% female, 61% men. Japan, where I'm at, 39% female, 61% men. Kind of seems normal, I guess. I'm surprised. Like, I'm kind of surprised that the like females are so high, but who knows? Have to take it as it is. Ukraine 38% female, 62% men. United Kingdom 30%, 37% female, 63% men. United States 37% female, 63% men. France 35% female, 65% men. Canada 32, 68. Italy 32, 68. I guess yeah, we can see that Italy. It's all pretty much the same down around here. Russia pretty low percent. 23% female, 77% men. Uh, wow. So apparently, there's more women in Russia than there are men. So it's a buyer's market if you're a man in Russia. I guess a lot of Russian men are caught up in the conflict. But Russia might be a good. Be hard to get into Russia now. I don't even know about getting a visa there, but um, yeah, Russian women are hot. Saw a lot of hot Russian women in Dubai. That's for sure. The stereotype about Dubai, I think, is pretty true in a lot of ways. Like you do see women that definitely look like escorts. Let's just say to put it politely, they look, um, yeah. So that much seems true about Russian chicks in Dubai. Not only Russian, but yeah. I think honestly, a lot of women go to Dubai and are up. They're up to no good. They're up to uh, all kind of badness. um, so among Pornhub's top 20 traffic countries, South Korea, Philippines, and Taiwan all have more than 40% female viewers. Female viewership grew by 10 percentage points in the Netherlands and Japan, and +9 in the United Kingdom. The proportion of female visitors grew by +7 percentage points in United States, now 37% compared to just 30% in 2019. A few countries like Mexico, Australia, and Brazil had their proportion of female viewers decrease in 2020 compared to 2019 as more men found time to visit the site. Um, yeah, but men and women are just different, like completely different. Uh, like I mean, as a man, you make sperm every day. Well, as a healthy man, you should be making sperm every day. So there's a drive to release that sperm. So naturally, men are driven, like in a way, like physically, mechanically, to have sex or release. So that's why men watch more porn and are driven to sex more than women. Women are less. Women don't have that. Don't need that release like men do. Like actually a physical release. Um, Gender preferences. Pornhub's most viewed video. Excuse me. Pornhub's most viewed video category of 2020 was Japanese. Hell yeah. And while these videos were popular worldwide, significant growth in traffic from Japan pushed it into the top spot, ahead of mainstay categories like lesbian, ebony, hentai, and MILF. Yeah, man. I never understood guys that, well, guys that say they're not into Asian. It's like, some guys even friends back home in Ireland, it's like, they ask me about the women and I'm like, yeah, they're super hot. And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm not into Asian chicks. And it's like, what do you mean you're not into Asian? I mean, we all have our preferences. We all have our preferences, but it's like, wow, like they're hot, super hot women. It, it's weird. Like, objectively, some women are just hot, you know? I just can't. And it's like, what do you mean you're not into Asian chicks? Like, are you saying that you wouldn't you wouldn't have sex with an Asian chick, or what is it? Like, I don't get it. It just seems weird to me. Um, I don't know if it's cap. I don't know. It's like kind of cope. I don't know if it's. I kind of get it in a way. I mean, when I lived in Ireland, I mean, I never saw that many hot Asian chicks. So I never really, apart from online, and I guess I didn't watch the. When I did watch porn, I didn't watch the Asian category stuff. But objectively, if you come to Japan, like you're if you're a straight male, your jaw. If you're walking around like busy areas, shopping districts, like your jaw should hit the fucking floor because there's not some it's phenomenal actually how many there are just walking around. It's such a distraction. It's such a distraction. There's just some seriously sexy perfection going around, walking around, strutting around in their little sexy high heels and their little mini skirts and stuff. Like it's nice, man. And the other thing about Japanese women is second to none is just their like level of self care, like their body, like the way they s- style themselves, like take care of their skin, their nails. It just Western women don't come close to doing that. Like not even close. Just the level of like almost every Japanese girl will spend like $100 just getting her like at least bare minimum like at least $100 just getting her nails done every month. Like like long nails. I think long nails are sexy as fuck. By the way, I never had a thing for. I only realized these kind of things when I came to Japan, like how feminine and stuff. When you're exposed to it. Like in Ireland, I wouldn't have said that. Like when I lived in Ireland, if someone said, "Oh, do you care if a girl has long nails or not?" It's like, I guess not really. But it just makes them sexier, more feminine. Um, it just does. Like it's like when a girl wears like high heels, it objectively makes them sexier. Like it really does. And a lot of Japanese girls wear high heels. Like it just changes their body. It makes them more feminine. It changes the curvature of their back. Puts props their ass up, puts their chest out, makes them just more feminine because they can't the way they walk. Yeah, it's just like, and then again in Western society, females would tend not to wear high heels. They just the only occasion the thing I noticed about Ireland was the contrast in the way in which women dress. So it's like all like in Ireland, it's either all or nothing, and it's kind of annoying. Like I noticed that girls, it's such a small country, so I guess I don't know what it is, but anyway, it's all or nothing. As in, girls going about their daily business. If they go into town, go to do whatever, go to work, they'll put in like bare minimum effort. Like they won't try and look hot. They won't try and look put together. They'll it's like the laziest approach. They won't give a fuck about how they look almost. And then when they go out, they'll dress like super. It's I don't want to even say like it's not even that. I don't want to say fashionable, but like they put in effort. They put in like effort. They'll try and look as sexy as possible. So in that sense, it's all or nothing. And it's kind of like what the fuck. Like at least it's weird. It's a weird way to approach it because, well, in a way, it makes sense in Ireland because people meet when like it's so rare that people would meet, flirt or do day game or try and people chicks don't want to even look hot, going about their daily business. It's like, but when they're going out at night, going to a bar or club or socializing in that way, they'll put in a lot of effort to look sexy or hot. um but the majority of time, when they're going about their business, whether it's like, whether they're university chicks, whatever, they'll put in like bare minimum. The they won't do anything to look hot. And it's totally different in Japan. Japanese girls they'll always like put in effort. They'll always put in effort to look like be sexy or hot or cute. And I like that. Why would you not like that? It's just a pleasant environment to be a straight male. It's a pleasant experience to live in a country like that where the women are trying to be visually pleasing, like trying to be attractive. Um, base bill clip says, which look better, Japanese girl or South Koreans? I prefer Japanese. Um, I prefer Japanese. I've been to Korea, and it's kind of the way I described it. The way I thought a good description was, it seems like a mix between Chinese culture and American culture, and I don't know if that's a good thing. Well, compared to Japan, I definitely didn't like it as much as Japan. Um, not that I hate it. I'm not gonna say I hated it. I didn't hate South Korea, but it seems from the attitudes of the people, it seems more they're not as polite. They're not as friendly. They're not. Yeah, I think feminism has a much stronger root, has taken a much stronger hold in South Korea um, than it has Japan. I don't think feminism has taken a hold in Japan at all. Actually, I mean, certainly there's a presence, but not, it hasn't culturally become a thing. I mean, I was just with a girl yesterday, and she was asking me, what are Irish girls like, or what are girls like back home, and I was kind of telling her, what I'm saying here, to be honest. And she said, "Oh yeah, I guess like feminine." Like she was a Japanese girl, but she was like saying, "Oh yeah, I guess there's so many feminists there," and I was like, "Yeah, you could say that." So they don't like Japanese girls don't even really respect feminism, like the idea of it. It's not like if you ask your average Western girl, "Are you a feminist?" They're all gonna say like yes. Like I guess they're all gonna say yes. I guess the exception to the rule would be that they would say they're not. But in Japan, they'd just be like I guess they would just not say they aren't. They wouldn't, yeah, or hmm, they would agree with obviously the equality of the sexes, but they wouldn't say they're feminists. I think feminists probably even has maybe even a bad image here. Um, anyway, uh, the top three categories viewed by men were Japanese, MILF, and lesbian, while female visitors viewed more lesbian videos than Japanese and MILF. That's interesting. I mean, a lot of girls, a lot of girls, I'm starting to realize are at least bi curious. Like it's very possible to find a girl that is at least willing to. If you're that guy, there's like, and a girl is a little bit bi curious, there's a good chance you could get her to be down to have a threesome. You know, I found plenty of girls that were down to have threesomes, and it was a good time. Uh, every guy needs to experience banging two girls at the same time, and them banging each other. Or them, they can't really bang each other, but them making out and stuff. It's quite a nice, pleasant experience. I gotta say. The first time you do it, you feel like a boss for a week solid. It's just, I don't know. You just get a natural high off it. It's a good time. Very very good time indeed. Uh, at least men and women can agree on the top three. After that, the porn preferences by gender begin to diverge. So yeah, I guess a lot of people like Japanese. Not surprised, to be honest. Really not. Really, really not. Like when you come to Japan, you have to come here to realize it. Like you have to come and see it. Like how fucking feminine, sexy, smooth, soft, fucking hot, ju- juicy. Yeah. The only thing is about Japanese girls that, like, if they don't have the biggest booties, but you still can find girls with some juice. Like it's not like they're all flat. Definitely not. Definitely not. Um, yeah, they're it's a good time. If it's a good time to be a straight male in Japan, with if you have some game. You need some game though. If you don't have game, you're gonna have to settle for, like, it's not even bad in Japan. Like in Japan, it's not even that bad. But when I say like bottom of the barrel, but because they're not like you're. Uh, Japan is a country of sixes, as in a lot of girls are. Most girls walking around are bangable. So, but if you don't have game and you're a foreigner, you're not, you're gonna struggle to get. You're not gonna be able to tap into the really hot girls. But you'll still have a good time. You know. I mean, it depends really. I know guys. There's this idea that you can come over to Japan and you're just going to clean up. It's absolute garbage. I know foreigners here that, I've met foreigners here that haven't had sex in a more than a year. Like they go on these insane dry spells, and given these are guys with very terrible game, but that really need to up their game. But it's just not a thing. It's not a thing where you're gonna just land off the plane and you're gonna have girls coming to you. It amazes me how I have to really drill that into guys as well. As in, I have to tell them, like, listen, the girls are never coming to you. They're not coming to you. If you're not going to approach them, you're never going to get laid. If you're not going to make men and women are not the same. We're just not. We don't operate the same. They don't. Like, I would never get laid. I would never get laid if I waited for women to approach me. It just wouldn't happen. It would be once in a fucking blue moon, maybe once a year, maybe once every 2 years. It might happen. I don't think I'd be a virgin. I wouldn't be a virgin, but it wouldn't, like, it would be the furthest thing from a player life if I left it in the hands of women to, like, approach me. And I'm talking, I could go out dressed like fucking well, dressed really well. Still, it's going to be bare minimum. I'd be lucky to get a girl to approach me, and I don't expect girls to approach me. I don't want them. I don't think, like, that's it's. You have to change your mindset. It's like our job as men to approach women. It's not their job. Like, if women just don't have the balls to do it, and it's a masculine trait. And to get that into your head, you need to get it into your head that they're not coming. They're not coming. Um, a lot of women don't realize they find you attractive until they start talking to you. A lot of women I've hooked up with haven't like I always say this. I always talk about the thing where a lot of women when I cold approach, some of them have even like seen me, as in like I walk by them, and there's like literally zero like indicators of interest. No, it's almost like they look through me. I don't even know if they did see me, but my point is, even if they had saw me, they don't think about me. They don't think, oh, he's hot, or they don't. They're in their own worlds, you know. And it's not until I open them and start talking to them that they start to become attracted to me, you know. So like they would have never ever even considered approaching me. Like they wouldn't have. It wouldn't have even crossed their mind to like cold. Like it's not in a, there's more chance of a comet hitting the earth than, you know what I mean. I'm just saying that it's just, that's why it's our job. Like that, there's just so many girls that like it would never even have ever happened. No indication, nothing. It just wouldn't have happened if I didn't approach them. I'm just saying, as a man, you have to make it happen. You know, you have to shoot your shot. And there's no harm in shooting your shot. And I'm not saying like to go around harassing women, go around like, you know, that's why it's important to understand like female body language, understanding being calibrated, understanding when a girl's interested, when she isn't. That's why I have a three strike rule, and I get shit from guys on both ends. They're saying, "You give girls three chances. Oh, you're such a beta. Oh my god, you're so beta. You give her three chances." And then, like most guys, give girls way more than like beta orbiters. Actual beta orbiters give girls way more than three chances. They keep persisting, and like getting rejected, getting flaked on, getting flaked on. That's why I have as a rule like three is the red line. It doesn't mean I'll always give them three chances. It means that three is the red line that I will never communicate. I won't communicate. I will make no communications with a girl after I give her three chances or three. I invite her out three times. That's the red line for me, and that's a very good. It's a very good way to approach it because it's like three is more than enough. It should be, and I've banged plenty of girls on the third attempt. So, but any more than three, it's too much. You've tried. You're kind of digging yourself a hole after three attempts to invite a girl out. It's like fuck it, no, give up. And the thing is, like, the worst thing you can do is, you know, get emotional about it. You know, like as in, uh, you know, I have guys come to me and they tell me like, "Oh, I blocked her and I removed her from this and that. I deactivated my Instagram. Like this shit is beta. To be honest, it's just bad. Like it's why is it beta? Why is it bad? It's because you're showing some random girl that like you let her get to you emotionally. You let her get you all flustered, deactivating, blocking, you know, like, oh, like I'm gonna teach her a lesson. I'm gonna teach this bitch a lesson. I'm gonna block her. Think she gives a fuck. That even like she doesn't give a shit. Don't like the best thing you can do, unfollow them. Don't block them. Don't get all like angry about, oh, I'm gonna block her. Like what? Like what the block? Why? Like what's that gonna achieve? You know? Like I mean, you can block someone if they're annoying, like if they've done something bad to you, if they're sending you bullshit. But I'm talking about a girl like my point is don't get like emotional like that, showing that because when you block a girl like that, you're achieving the opposite of what you want to achieve. You're kind of like showing her that you let her get to you emotionally. Um, Playlist says, "What advice for beginners?" I mean, it really depends on your circumstance, your situation. You know, you should hit me up for a consultation. Link in description. But like the thing is about game, it's not a one size fits all solution. It's not a one size fits all. It's different for every individual. It's like diet. It's like exercise. it's not the same for everyone. There's this idea, oh, we all follow the same program. No, it's different. It is different. It depends on your location. It depends where you're living. It depends on what you look like. It depends on how your age. What do you do? How much experience do you have? There's a lot to it. It's not just like, oh, I can just begin where? Like, where are you at? I don't know where you're at even. Are you a virgin? Like, have you been with any women? These kind of questions. These are the kind of questions I ask guys when they come to me for consults. And I ask them all these questions, and I get an overall understanding of where they're at in life and where they're at with women. Because there's levels to this game. There's levels, and it depends on what level you're at. You might be at zero, like zero, and you might be in a bad location. Like, you could be at zero in a terrible location, and you could be at zero in a great location, and it's way better to be a zero in a great location than a terrible location. So that's what I mean. This is not just so straightforward. um because one thing about game, and when you're trying to get with women and live a player lifestyle, um a location is a huge part of it. You want to be living in a place where there are fertile hunting grounds. um so okay, so here are the most viewed categories by gender. Men's favorites. Let's do the men's first. Okay, the most popular is Japanese, MILF, hentai, mature, ebony, amateur, anal. Wow. Okay. Lesbian, big tits, cartoon, transgender. Holy shit. Big dick. What the threesome, cream pie. Um these are, bear in mind, these are like millions and millions and millions of people. Millions and millions of people. Ask yourself this question. Would you be comfortable with everyone knowing your search history? I doubt it. I doubt it. Behind closed doors, you know, I'd say most guys are pretty degenerate. Women's favorites: lesbian, Japanese, MILF, ebony, hentai, mature, okay, anal. Women like anal too. Amateur. Women can like anal if it's done correctly. Just the whole taboo of it. Obviously, it can hurt, and some women are even into into like pleasure pain kind of complex. um Amateur, popular with women. What does that mean? What is that, a category? Popular with women. I don't even know what that is. Big tit, threesome, big dick, gangbang, cartoon. So it's kind of interesting actually how um out of all these, like, if you asked a man, what do you think the women that watch porn, what kind of category of porn do you think, if you ask men what kind of category of porn do you think women would most like, guys would think big dick would be number one, but big dick is like way down, like pretty much down at almost at the bottom, third from the bottom. So um you know women, I've said this before, I've said it again, women just like a good fit. It's all relative. It's all relative to their pussy size. That's as simple as it is. Like, just as there are different dick sizes, there are different pussy sizes too. So that's how it is. Like, it's if the girl has a wide pussy, she's gonna want a bigger dick because the pleasure comes from the kind of like the little bit of the fit. Like, it has to kind of snugly fit in, where there's a little bit of stretch but not too much, where it's like gonna hurt, like where it's gonna like feels like it's gonna tear. That's bad. um but a nice fit, like, if a woman's pussy is like wide, um she's not going to get much pleasure from a slimmer dick. That's how it is. So plus, like, I don't think women get off. They don't get off to looking at pictures of dicks like men would get off to looking at pictures of women. um, um, Playlist says, is there a certain excuse me, is there a certain percentage that you can pull? Like if you meet 10 girls, three will close with you. Dude, it really, I don't like the whole percentage thing because it's too dorky, it's too mathematical, and it doesn't really work like that. Here, long answer short, you could approach 10 girls one day and none of them will give you, you'll hook up with absolutely none of them. The next day you could approach 10 girls and you could smash four of them over a period of 2 or 3 weeks, as in you get the number. It could be the same day late. So it can be random like that. It can be random like that. Um, but the one average should be that you should have a certain success rate. If it's like just pure rejection, then there's something wrong with your game. There's something wrong with your approach. There's something wrong with how you look, you know, because some girls just won't, you just, based on your looks alone, they're just going to rule you out. If you're not there, like, fashion is it's super super important to have your fashion down. It's super important to have a look about you. It really is. It really is. I can't state it enough. Like, you could get rejected based on your fashion alone. Like, your body could be the exact fucking same. There's not one little difference about your body when you're naked. It's the exact same, but based on your fashion, girls can accept or reject you. Fashion can really help your game. It can give you that. It's not going to get you laid. Fashion isn't going to get you laid, but it'll give you, like, enough time to game the girl. Because some girls, if you have the wrong fashion, she's just gonna, like, kind of reject you and say, "Oh, sorry, I'm busy," or, like, or just ignore you or whatever. But if you look the part, she she give you a shot to shoot your shot, to talk to her. And if you have a little bit of game, you can pull it off. um, uh, Playlist says, how many girls you meet a day? I'm also from a small town surrounded by smaller towns, USA. I mean, again, it's like, I mean, it depends. I don't have like a checklist where I have to go out and say, oh, I'm going to approach this many girls a day. Like, it's not how it works. I mean, if you're going out to do day games specifically, you should, again, it depends on where you're at. If you're in a small town, if you're in somewhere like Tokyo, you can do tons of approaches because there's so many women walking around. It's like, if you're from a small town, you just have to approach when the opportunity presents itself, because there's not that many. There's just not as there's just not as much population walking around. There's not as many women to approach. So, it's, you kind of have to play the game differently in smaller towns. I mean, it's just common sense kind of thing. Um, when you're in a smaller town, you have to really really have to be kind of keyed in and take the opportunity when it presents itself. And like in Tokyo, I have the luxury of passing up, like, hot girls walking by me all the time. I could never approach every hot girl that I see in Tokyo. Completely impossible thing to do. It's absurd to even consider it. Like, you could never approach. So you have the luxury. I have the luxury of doing that in Tokyo. I see girls that I would love to fuck all the time. Like, I step outside my house, go down to the store, I'm gonna probably see some hot girl. No, not probably. I will see some girl that is absolutely more than bangable. it's like I have the luxury of not approaching them, not because I'm afraid to approach them, but just because it's like, I already have plenty of girls already, or already done a bunch of approaches. There's so much opportunity when you live in a fertile hunting ground, so to say. um. Anyway, uh, this article proves that all women are attractive to women. I mean, women are like, even women that say they're straight say other women are hot. Like, you never hear a man say, "Oh, he's like," a straight man isn't gonna say, "Oh, that dude's so hot." Like, it's like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna acknowledge that another man is hot. Like, it's yeah, but women openly and freely do it about other women. So, like I said earlier, women are a lot of women are seriously bisexual, like, or at least bi curious, and they're open to at least making out with a girl. Like, I will never be open to making out, like it's just the idea of it. Never, like, I'm never gonna make out with a dude casually, but straight women will do that all the time. Straight women will casually make out with their friends and still say they're straight. But even by the fact that they're making out with women tells you another woman, it's a very sexual act to like kiss like with your tongue another woman. Like, that's an erotic thing. Like, it's an erotic act. So it's like, if you're doing that, you're bi. You're bi. Like, there's no. It's a sexual act. You're performing a sexual act. As harmless as a kiss sounds, it's quite a sexual act if you think about it. You're sharing like your tongue and saliva and spit. Like, it's that's like it's quite an erotic thing to even kiss someone. Like, um Emmy Zone says, if more girls watch porn from year to year, does it mean less of them get real lays because of decreasing amount of guys who approach them? That's an interesting point. Interesting point. Who knows? Could be a bit of. I don't think it's one or the other. It's probably a bunch of contributing factors. That could be one of them. Another one, it could just be that society is becoming more like degenerate. Like Twitter, you go on Twitter, there's hardcore porn on Twitter. Like, hardcore. Like, Twitter has as much hardcore porn as you want. Like, uncensored, like hardcore. Any kind of category is on Twitter. Like, uncensored, like pure. It's so. I mean, and I heard Instagram is going to free the nip. So society is becoming just more sexualized all the time. Um, so Instagram will probably eventually turn out like Twitter, like, where it's like there's hardcore porn on. Imagine growing up in today's world, man. Like, because Instagram is already like pretty pornographic, like softcore porn. Like, it is, and I mean, there's pornographic drawings and art on Instagram, and like, kids have access to that. There's no filters, like, straight up, like, they can just see all that. It's pretty nuts. Like, it's pretty nuts. Imagine that. Like, it's kind of crazy. Um, and I mean, as I was saying earlier, like, when I was 12, 13 years old, at that time, that would, like, the stuff that's on Instagram now, like, even the stuff that, you know, all the erotic photography and the it's for back when I was like 12, 13 years old, I would have considered that like that would have been hardcore porn to me, because that would have been enough to get me off. Then, like, seeing what's on Instagram. um yeah, so viewed more by women compared to men. Okay, pussy licking, solo male, nasty. Pussy licking's nice though. Scissoring, fingering, popular with women. What is popular with women? What is that? Does anyone know? I didn't even, like, what is that category? I don't even know what that means. Like popular with women. What's popular? What kind of like we all get what pussy licking is, we get what scissoring is, we get what fingering is. What? What is pop well, someone answer that for me. Anyway, um lesbian, muscular men, yeah, you gotta get gotta get those muscles up. Bisexual male. That's a weird one. Like I've heard women say that to me. Um I've heard women like say they're actually turned on by dudes banging each other or dudes being bisexual, but yeah, honestly, that's what I've heard. I've heard multiple women say that. Um, romantic double penetration. Damn, these women are freaky. Double penetration. God damn. Holy shit. Um, maybe. Let me see. I gotta figure out what is popular with women fucking categories. Uh, uh, I don't. I don't even know. It's hard to because it's just bringing up what's popular with women. How is that a category? It's so annoying. Like, what the fuck is that category? Anyway, um, relative categories are more interesting. Are more interesting to see what's proportionately viewed more by women when compared to men. For example, women are 160% more likely to view pussy licking videos and 141% more into solo male and 126% more into fingering and 130% more into romantic videos. Um, okay, well, the pussy licking one, that's pretty hot. I really don't get guys that say they're not into like eating pussy. It's weird. For me, it's weird just because, like, I get it if the girl isn't up to par. Like, there's times I've done it, and there's like when I've done it, it's been like I want to do it. It's not that I'm doing it for her pleasure. It's like, god damn, that's a nice pussy. Like, like that looks good. That looks good. Like really good. Like it turns me on to do it. Like it's not something that's um yeah, it's a choice on my part. And there's times where it's like it just doesn't look right. It just looks a little or the smell isn't right or yeah, and I don't do it. But guys that outright say, "Oh, I never lick pussy," it's like, all right, okay, fair enough. Like, but yeah, I mean, um, why is pussy licking, scissoring, and fingering porn so popular? According to sex educator Nikki Davis Fainbloom, this is largely due to the focus on female pleasure. She says, it makes sense that women would enjoy viewing pussy licking, scissoring, and fingering more than men because we are turned on by watching porn that focuses on our pleasure. Yeah, plus like women can get like it's a win-win really. I mean, um if there's a girl with a fire, beautiful, sexy, tasty pussy, well, number one, I get turned on by it, and two, she gets pleasure from it. So it's like we're both. It's a mutual, very mutual, enjoyable thing. Um, yeah, man. Like nothing beats some good pussy, to be honest. When the focus is on female pleasure, it is easy to put ourselves in the position of the ladies that are clearly having a good time. Most women can't orgasm from penetration without clitoral stimulation, and it is often during foreplay, when we are being fingered and receiving oral sex, that we orgasm. As a result, it makes sense that we would enjoy watching porn that reflects our ultimate pleasure. Yeah, it's important to understand and know how to make a woman come. You know, it's like, it makes it easier to like it makes it easier to maintain girls as sex friends if you can make them come. You can't be some dickhead that is like, oh, I don't like. Oh my god, it's beta to care about a woman. A woman's pleasure. Um, and then expect to have sex friends. It's like, you go around saying you don't care about a woman's orgasm, and then it's just about you. And then you expect to be able to have maintain having them as casual sexual partners. It's like, what's in it for her if you're not going to be able to make her come? What's the point? Like, there's it's just retarded. Some of the shit I hear in the red pill, like some of the shit I hear from other red pill content creators is so, I disagree with it so much. Just you know. But anyway, but long story short, it's important to understand how to be able to make a girl come, or at least try, and because in order to make a girl come, you have to, like, she has to be like, because some girls have, like, it's some girls actually find it very difficult to come, as in, like, they actually, it's females are not as straightforward as men when it comes to the orgasm. But you should know some basic shit. um Thankfully, I've had the pleasure of learning mostly from experience, to be honest, and then seeing some videos and doing some reading. But you combine experience with some a little bit of study about the topic, and you can become very good. You can become a very good sexual partner. You can become very good in bed. Um, yeah. So we hope we okay. So that's pretty much it. Mm, yeah. So that is that. Women are starting to watch porn as well. Uh, Um, I just think it's not. I don't think they'll ever be as inclined to watch porn as much as men. I don't see that ever happening. I just think because I just think men and women are different. Like, we're different. We have different needs, different interests, and yeah. But I don't know. Like I said before, there's never been a better time to be a guy that wants to live a player lifestyle. Um, it's a great time, but you need game. It's all or nothing kind of thing. Um, all or nothing. That's what, like, it's small percentage of men are banging all the women. That's what's going on, and I'm one of those small percentage of men that is having a lot of sex, and it's a good time. Um, Playlist says, "Thanks for answering questions. Any new videos coming up?" I mean, this is a video, a live stream. I mean, if you want me to cover any topics, send me a DM, send me a message, send me an email. Follow me on Instagram. Easiest way to get me is on Instagram. DM me there, Mac the Day Gamer. Um, Salvador says, "What's your thoughts on experience on daytime approaching milfs in their 40s?" There is no different. Like, there's not really much of a difference. You approach the same way. You approach, and it's like milfs. The milfs in their 40s are kind of. I like them because they're about it or they're not, kind of thing. You shouldn't. They're usually, there's not much beating around the bush with them. You might have to be a little more sophisticated about your approach with them, maybe, but not even really. Like, if you have your own place, just invite them around for some wine, and you know, there's not much difference. You approach, you game them in the same way you would game a 21-year-old. But yeah, it's there's not much difference. I mean, you cold approach them. You set up the date, and you try and seal the deal. But I think 40 girl women in their 40s are at the age when they are they're kind of like either gonna just reject you, or they're gonna like, yeah, there's a good, if they don't reject you, there's a very high probability of banging them, in my humble opinion and experience. um because they kind of know, they've been around the block, they kind of know why a guy is approaching them on the street. And a lot of time, sometimes these women are married as well. A lot of time these women could be married in relationships. I've banged women that are married and have kids and shit, and it's, yeah, it's taboo. It's a taboo subject. Be careful though. It's a dangerous game to play. So apparently in Japan you can get actually sued if a woman is married in Japan. Fun fact: you like, let's just say I bang a married woman and her husband finds out. Technically, he can sue me, but apparently it's one of those laws that's there but doesn't get used very often. It doesn't get implemented, but it's kind of a fucked up law, really. But it is what it is. Uh, Salvador says, "What's your thoughts on condom usage with new girls?" 100%. I mean, obviously, you should wear a condom. I mean, I'm not perfect. I suppose, like, if you want to be safe, of course, you should use a condom. Like, I mean, it's common sense. But yeah, I'm not perfect. I'll say that much. But I'm not. That's not advice. If someone came to me, if you're asking me for advice, should you use a condom? Of course, you should use a condom. It's like, you don't know where she's been, you don't know what she's about. Obviously, it feels way better to raw dog, but it's not good advice, is it? You shouldn't, like, let's just say most of the time I do it, like, and the times that I don't, I should have. All right, it's just like that. Yeah, but damn, it feels fucking great to raw dog a girl, but it's not very wise to do it with new girls. Definitely not. So, common sense, man. Anyway, I'm gonna cut it there. As usual, like, comment, subscribe. Um, check out the link in the description if you want a consultation, if you want to sort your day game out, if you want to sort your, not only your day game, but just your sex life in general. Hit me up for a consultation. Just one consultation could really turn things around for you, get you, get you out of a dry spell, or just change your game mindset wherever you're at. Because as I've said before countless times, game is different. There's levels to it, and it, depending on your location, your situation, your personal situation, the solution may be different from one guy to another. So until next time, peace out, brothers. Bye bye.
Purchase your tracks today. today.